Hey guys, NeusNexus here, about to do another interview with a gamer. I know, I keep doing this shit to you, I'm so sorry guys. But anyway, I'd like to welcome UchihaDrew for doing this interview with me, and hello!
How's it going?
Not too bad compared to all the bullshit I've had to deal with the last day, but hey, that's for another day. Anyway, alright, so, we're ready to get this shindig going?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What you got?
Okay. Alright, what do I got? Alright, first off, what got you into gaming?
It's just something I did from when I was a kid. We didn't have much, but I had a Mega Drive and I had the Sonics, and I went through those, and I eventually, like long after everybody else had one, eventually got my hands on a PS1 and PS2, and I played Grand Theft Auto on that. I remember one point, I think early teens, I had a crate of like Budweiser and a big multi-pack of those Space Raider crisps. And I was just jamming away on San Andreas back in those days. It was a good game. I like those. It's just been uphill ever since then.
So I'm guessing from the way it is, it's just basically, it was kind of a good, just a relaxing way to get through a day, enjoy yourself, just sit there, play a game for hours on end, and just completely enjoy yourself. Just forget about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into your channel now. I like to ask about your icon because, well, it is very interesting to me.
It's just lazy. I have no artistic talent whatsoever, and I needed something, so I snipped it from one of my GTA things. So I've just been rolling with it since then. I occasionally Photoshop into other things. Just been running with it really. If somebody would like me to draw something better, by all means, that would be fantastic, because I have no ideas whatsoever.
Well, it does certainly make it unique, even though it is lazy. It's certainly unique, because then you just look at it and you go, I want to know the story behind this.
That's a dude with a raccoon for a face. That's
yeah.
All right. It's just laziness stuff. There's no magic to it. It's just that was my dude in GTA. Still has it though. He just wears a t-shirt with a raccoon head. I like it.
It works for you. It works for me. So I'm guessing. What about your banner?
That's equally lazy. I've adopted the sort of 3 Tomo thing as my sort of symbol. Nobody actually has it in reality, so I get to nick it. And yeah, I just dicked about with the colours, put a nice gradient on it. It just bang, exactly what it says on the tin. It used to have a schedule back when I could put it back on, but I really just can't be asked. So it's just that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I say, no artistic talent whatsoever.
Well, the thing is, there's the truth in that, and there's also truth in like that. I find that artistically you can be, like, especially when you do in your videos, the way you kind of react to certain things, or you interact with a game a certain way, it can be artistic. That's
yeah, my artistry lies in other direction.
Okay. Yes, is another direction. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. So, I think I'm going to start talking about some of the series that you do on your channel. Mm-hmm. I've currently gone over to your playlists, and I think that we're going to start off with the one that catches my eye the first. Okay. I want to talk about Star Wars: The Old Republic. I like to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that series. I'm with a dude called Tash the Cat, who I'm pretty sure you've interviewed before. But yeah, I played it back when it first came out. I don't remember the year, but you had to pre-order it and all that. And this was back when you subscribed. You paid for like it was 50 quid or something, and it got you for a while, and you subscribed. The free-to-play thing came much later, and I had to stop playing because I couldn't afford it. This was before free-to-play happened, so I put it down for ages, and I never got to pick it back up, even though I had like a level 50-odd character. But it was tied to an email address I couldn't get to, and a physical address I couldn't get to, so I just had to accept that was gone. Anyway, I don't even remember how this co-op started with Tash the Cat. I'd never like seen any of his stuff before, but it just came up on Twitter. I went, yeah, I'm up for that, because that's how I roll. If someone points an idea my way, I'll just run with it straight away. I won't think about it, I'll just do it. So that's what we did, and it's been, great from there.
Huh. Is there anything in particular that you would like to talk about in that game that kind of catches your eye, gameplay-wise, or anything like that?
I do like the way they do the stories. in that. The first time I played, I basically just treated it like a single-player RPG, like Knights of the Old Republic. And it was so easy to do that. You still can. Just run through it solo, do it for the story, and it's kind of like Mass Effect, the way they do the cutscenes and all that. It's pretty good. I like it. This time I'm doing it with a partner. I'll like it even more. It's fun.
So, especially with something like that, which has a huge lore base, do you find yourself trying to pull from that? Do you guys do any role-playing or anything in that sort of idea?
A little bit. It's just as it catches my fancy. I don't really fit in with the other Sith. Because as far as I'm concerned, what's the point in being able to do whatever you like if you have to be miserable and angry and surly all the time? You know. And Tash gets very into the old roleplay for the Sith Warrior, sort of brooding, I'm going to murder you all because, you know, that's what we do. I'm a bit more chill, even though I'm a Sith. So, you know.
So you're not, you're like the anti-Anakin going, Mom's dead!
No, I'm like a Sith that's got bored of it in his old age, and he's like, you know what, let's just chill. Let's just be groovy. I'd still get what I want, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Why be a dick about it?
Well, see, especially with something like that, I find if you're playing a game like that, I don't think you should be sticking straight to the base characters, like the way the base characters are for the Sith and stuff like that. I find that you need to kind of expand upon it and put your own personality in there. And if you're a character, want to be a character who just doesn't give a fuck, it just is chill, do it, because then it's away from the norm, it's interesting, and people are like, what the hell?
I think my dude's like a cross between an up-and-coming Palpatine and Cyphus Cain from the Cyphus Cain novels, the 40k ones. You ever heard of those?
Yes, I have, yes.
For anyone that doesn't know, it's basically Blackadder in space. But it's good. You should read them. They're fantastic. But yeah, that's kind of what my guy's like. He's got a lot of Commissar Cain in him.
Let's talk about Stardew Valley. Mm-hmm. Because that's another prominent one I see on your channel. Yep,
it's a newish one. It was something I was recording in the background in my own time, and then I had to start releasing it because I needed to fill a gap while I was moving house. So it's out there now, so I'm rolling with it. It started off as a sort of solo thing that I'll occasionally get guests in on, and it's a nice model. It means that nobody's having to keep to my schedule. I can have them in and out whenever they're free, and that's a fun way to do it, I think. Yeah, I think I've got Soul Maelstrom coming on the next one. We've had 3 guests so far. A chap called Moogie, who you'll see me do The Forest with, as well as Left 4 Dead. Who came after that? Soul Maelstrom. And then Tiddlywinks, who is adorable, who I'm trying to push towards you, because you should interview her next. She's lovely. She's delightful. Yeah, and then we'll be having Sol back. So, yeah, it's a nice way of doing things. I'm going through it with a friend. Just makes things a bit more interesting, I think. More fun for me, more fun for everyone else, so why not roll with it?
Let's see here. Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about, Dishonored 2. Now, I see that you have a fair decent amount of that up. Now, I have played the first one. Is there much difference between the first and second one? Because I'm really interested in wanting to play it, but I want to hear it from someone else's point of view.
It's difficult for me to compare because the first time around I played as Corvo, as everyone else did, but this time around I'm playing as Emily. But I never did the first one on the channel. I didn't have a channel back in those days. The powers are different. I keep referring to them by their old names and missing some of the old powers, but the gameplay-wise, a lot of it is very much the same. It does exactly what I expected it to do, gameplay-wise. So that you'll feel yourself becoming very familiar with it very quickly if you play the first one.
Okay. I'm thinking about actually picking up the original and playing through it again because, I don't know, there's a special place in my heart when Raph the Turtle. He played, streamed most of it, and he played one style on one playthrough, and then he's doing another one playing on the... Because the first one he did sneaky and not killing anybody, and then this one he's actually killing everybody, so it was actually quite interesting to go from one extreme to another. So, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm doing a peaceful run because I like the low chaos ending of the first one, so I'll do exactly the same for the second one, and it just fits with who I am, so that's what I'm aiming for. Non-lethal, hopefully stealth, but not usually. It just has some good moments in. There was a few surprising moments with the janky physics. There was a few times I've tried to like use the what's the void reach or far reach or whatever, to pull a corpse to safety, and just wound up flinging them across a room. I flung myself across rooms into... there was one point I was hiding in this house, and the guards are chatting about something or other. And I'm looking for like bits to hide around and wait. And then I get stuck behind a bunch of boxes, so I thought, it's alright, I'll just far reach over them. And then boom, I wind up flinging myself through a glass window into the next room. The two guys going, what? Oh, shit! So we had to run off, and like, it was a bit hectic. You'll see that in the series.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out, because that sounds freaking amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, there are like proper sensible ones. Like I think it's Xylus or Rithian, I can't remember. They did a really good one that I watched for a bit, and then I realized I was going to play it, so I had to stop watching it. I will resume it once I'm finished, though. But yeah, mine is not the competent playthrough exactly. It tries to be, and it succeeds most of the time, but not always.
Yeah. Speaking of that kind of thing, especially like I was talking to you before we started this interview about Outlast, my original Outlast series. I actually did a revisit of Outlast. I streamed it over 2 things, and I have to say, from playing it like probably a year or so beforehand, I got really good at getting the hell away from things. And I'm like, fuck no, you ain't getting me this time. No, and I'm just like running past, and I sped run it. Originally, when I played it, I think it was like 8 hours, something like that. I finished in under 4, and I was so happy. I'm like, how the hell, man? How the hell? That is the true thing. But getting back to that, I want to talk about one that really catches my eye with 111, Fallout 4.
Yeah, that was a good journey. I had fun with that one. I played it. I was so excited for that one, and it was. I don't think the channel had been going that long, so I recorded it the day it came out. But I gave it like 3 weeks for anyone that really wanted to avoid spoilers. I kind of wish I hadn't now, because everybody else was getting the jump on me. But I did it. It was like a 3-week gap. I did some spoiler-free episodes in that meantime. But it was just such a nice journey, and I enjoyed the whole lot of it. So yeah, glad I did it. It was a fun playthrough. I started experimenting with mods about halfway through, when like I hit a wall that really shouldn't have been there. It was like I got the castle and I really couldn't do anything with it. Like I just got this massive settlement, and because of like the in-game limits, I couldn't put that much stuff down. And I thought, nah, fuck it, we're modding it. So I built this huge fuck-off structure, and it was amazing. Best thing I ever did, and it just went, onward from there. It's fantastic. I loved it. Check it out.
I will. Definitely. Okay, so I noticed that, especially like most proper people, you keep yourself in stuff in playlists. Yes, like you really should, because I know a lot of people recommend us to do it, because then people want to binge your stuff. They can know what it is. They can watch the first one to the second one, and keep going. Do you find that when you start a series, do you find you immediately make the playlist right at the beginning? Yeah. And then you just put the one video in there?
It just makes it so much easier. The first time a video comes out for a series, you make a playlist, and then you go into the settings for the playlist, and you put like auto add settings. So Fallout 4, when I first made that list, any video that came out after that with the words Fallout 4 in the title would be automatically added to the list. So I didn't have to worry about it. It's done nice and neat for me.
Yes, a little tip there for you aspiring YouTubers who want to do Let's Plays and stuff. So I see you have a playlist called One-Off Videos. I'm guessing that you just play something that's just one-off. It's not going to be a series?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else, really. That probably should get in a playlist so some people can find it somehow. I'm never really quite sure where to put them, to be honest. So that seemed like the fairest compromise. The hell is in there? Let's have a look. It's like first look videos mostly. Like, I do try my hand at it occasionally, and I will get back into it if there's a game that I'm interested in trying out. But there just hasn't been anything recently. It's like all the keys I want, I never seem to guess, and then the ones that they seem to throw at me are all just shite. So, I'm just trying to do whatever keeps me interested. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, it's just sometimes I find, especially with certain series, is that you don't know exactly what you want to do with it, and you're like, oh, how does it fit into this? How does it fit into that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find that I do a bunch of streams, right, where I do it on Twitch or Mixer, and I find when I bring them over, it's like I kind of want to put them in their own playlist, but then it's like I have a stream archive one, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to put it in that or have both or anything like that. It's difficult sometimes, but
yeah,
you gotta go.
Once it goes from like a hobby to work, like back in the old days, like if I didn't have something, like I didn't have like a Monday slot to fill, I just did it because I loved it and I put them out in a schedule that made sense, but it wasn't like proper official or anything like that. But now I have a Monday slot to fill with nothing to fill it with. So I have two options. One, just skip it until I've got something interesting, or force it. And that gets you to some tricky territory, you know? So that's just one of those things that comes with being a Let's Player and doing this kind of shit, I'm afraid.
Let's talk about thumbnails. Do you have a basic structure for doing your thumbnails?
A very basic one, yeah. I've shared with you, I think, an image of one of the thumbnails in action, like being made in Photoshop. Like you can see the layers at work, and it is just a basic border, black border, which I found stands out a lot. Nobody else seems to do that. And now that it's my thing, nobody's allowed to do that. Ha!
No worry, I don't want to.
It makes it stand out amongst a field of them. And then there's just something from the game. I usually pick a cutscene or something like that. If I can't, then I'll dip into the menu or pick something from in-game. Usually what I'll have to do is remove UI elements like health bars and shit like that, and I'll do it with the clone stamp. So it's a very useful tool. The two most useful tools for doing it are the polygonal lasso tool, and putting feathers on it, and the clone stamp. Two most useful things. That and enough patience will do most of the jobs you want to do in Photoshop for thumbnails and all that. So if you're going to use bits of in-game stuff.
You find that it's just that way you kind of make it unique in your own style, and it also kind of makes it stand, as you said, it makes it stand out above the crowd. So yeah, that's good. Very good.
It just makes it easier. For one thing, it plays to my strengths. I have no artistic talent. I can't draw, but I can Photoshop the shit out of anything. So while I'm in Premiere, I mean, there's a button that exports the entire frame as it is to a folder, so that's what I do. I'll get along and like a bit in the cutscene where it's framed right and it looks good, and if there's like no UI elements because it's a cutscene, boom, easy decision. I'll put it in there, and then I'll pick from of them when I bring it in. Sometimes it'll be in game, and I'll look at it and think, can I actually snip out enough elements so that makes something useful out of this? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But after that, you'll bring it in. Now, because I record at like 1080p and the thumbnail isn't that big, once you bring it in, it's like zoomed in, or it seems to be. That makes it easier to crop stuff because like any UI elements that might have been there won't be anymore because they'll be out of frame now. And just mixing in stuff as you like. If there's like a person in the frame and they're not quite popping, then you can get the polygonal lasso tool, go around them with like a 2-pixel feather on it, and then once it's selected, invert the selectant and put like Gaussian blur on it, and it just adds a sort of depth of field effect and just makes it pop a bit more. But when I'm bringing stuff in, I'll like look at it and think, do the colors pop? Does everything look all right? It is odd. There are too many colors, so it looks blurry. And sometimes you don't have that much to work with, so you kind of have to wing it. But most of the time, you get something good out of it if you're just willing to be patient and you pick the right moment.
Yeah, because I've noticed as you were speaking, I was looking at a lot of your thumbnails, and I do notice that, and it does really pop out for me, especially looking at them. And I'm just looking at, like, trying to weigh my own decisions, and it's like, no, because right now I'm going kind of with a style. I have a filter in paint.net, which is a free Photoshop thing. I'll put the link in the description so if anybody wants it. What I use is I turn my screenshot into a sketch, and then I add some other elements to it. I typically don't like, as I see with yours, you typically like to put your title in for your thing in there. I don't know, with me, I don't really like, I like putting a quote or something in there just because it likes to pop out for me, but that's my own beef, right?
Sometimes I think I have done at earlier points. GTA, because GTA was where I experimented with stuff like that. like maybe the thumbnail wasn't quite what it said in the title, like trying to use 2 titles really. But I'd settled against it in the end just because I prefer simplicity and obviousness. So I don't know if it's the Asperger's or whatnot, but bluntness is what has always made it easier for me. So bluntness it is. Boom, exactly what it says on the tin. You get what it is, what episode it is, and a picture to go with it. Hopefully that's enough. Probably.
Yeah. Let's see. Everybody has their own style, and so what works for somebody might not work for another. So you do you. That's what you should do.
Some of the Dishonored ones, I didn't have that much to work with. Looking at them now, like Sneaky Traps, nah. But you know, sometimes you don't exactly get what you need to work with. It's like working with clay sometimes, and sometimes you just don't get good enough clayed. But you know, you try your best.
Yeah, you try your best. That is very true. Let's see here.
Like the Saints Row, the last one for the end. Those wings on Kinsey are actually Johnny Gat's. Johnny Gat at that point is actually standing behind her, and it's his wings you're seeing. But I used the clone stamp to completely stamp him out of it. I just replaced it with the same texture as the stairs. It repeats easily enough, so it was easy to do in as long as I timed it right. And boom, no more Johnny Gat. It looks like it's her with her wings. Sometimes you get it right.
Yeah, I really can't tell by looking at that.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's like, wait, what? He's behind. I'm like, oh, okay. All right,
if you
we'll
really
go with that.
like look, I suppose you can tell that the wings are backwards, but I don't know what fucking angel wings look like. And from the angle, it looks like they're extending out from her back, so it just works. So that's what I went with.
Yeah, after looking through it, yeah, I can see what you mean. As I'm really getting close to my webcam, I'm just going, yeah.
I've told you this earlier, man. The best special effect is one that nobody knows has occurred at all.
Yes, that is very true. If you guys can't see it, we know about it. It makes it fun.
Like, I was telling him earlier, but I'll tell you lot. There was proper Let's Play secrets, but fuck it. This is how I roll. So, coming up, in fact, the day I'm recording today, which is the 1st of December, in about 10 minutes actually, so I should be doing VidMe stuff in the background probably. I play with Tiddlywinks at Stardew Valley. Her game audio didn't record, so the first episode I just lived with it, and we did it. It's not that big a deal, but I thought, right, this time round I have an idea. So what I did is I went back from my game audio, because I can isolate it on its own, and every tree chopping noise, every watering can noise, every chatty noise, I isolated those, copied them in time with all of Tiddlywinks' actions whenever I could to her using the multicam, and I swear to God you would say that I had her game footage. I just refoleyed the whole thing myself.
Ooh. The magic of editing.
Best special effects are ones that nobody knows has gone at all. And there's been tons of that shit that's gone on in my videos, and you will never know they're there.
See, that's the kind of thing that a lot of people may not take into account, is that when we do videos, and something fucks up, and when we don't want to give up, we resort to these kind of things where we actually swap in and out of audio, cut certain things what looks right, and it's like there's a lot of effort put into it, and a lot of people, when they don't, they just like say, oh yeah, this is crap. It's like you do not know the bullshit I've been through to make it look that good. Yeah.
The one I'm not sure on still, and sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't, is skipping loading screens. Now, because on one hand, like, I think the Let's Play is to give the people that might... I'll start the sentence over so it actually makes sense. Some people watch Let's Plays for certain reasons. Some is just for the bands, and some are thinking, is this game worth getting? So I think some people might be watching the Dishonored 2 thing just to see if it's the kind of game they want to play. Now, in that, there are loads of loading screens. I discuss how bad they are, but I don't leave them in. But I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I just cut them and like a nice transition myself just to make it look better. But in trying to make it all go smoother, am I misrepresenting what the game might be like? Like, nobody sees the loading screens, so they think it's not that bad, but they might play it themselves, pay the money for it, and think, oh my god, these loading screens are terrible. Drew, why didn't you include more of this? And I'm wondering, if trying to make it go smoother might be accidentally misrepresenting it. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. I try to make transitions obvious, like with a clock transition and like a whoo noise. But sometimes I haven't. Sometimes to make it smoother and flow better, I haven't. So I'm not sure how I go on that. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. And I'd be interested in people's opinions on this.
Okay, if you guys want to give him opinions, please put down in the comments, and I'll forward them to him. Or you can just bug him on Twitter.
Yes, that's what it's for, apparently.
Yes, bug them on the Twitters. Okay, so we talked about that. Let's see. I'm going back to your main page, and I'm seeing a bunch of pics from elsewhere. Is there anything people on that list you'd like to kind of shout out right now? Because hey, why not?
Everyone on there. I am forgetful and inept, but they're all on there for a reason. I know that much. Prio Hook, you sound. We've done some Rocket League and some other stuff together. We played Hearthstone on one of his Mixer streams, but Mixer's apparently been really weird with VODs, so I haven't actually watched it. Hat Films, the sound, they're good. Like the reason I got into Let's Plays in the first place was not exactly Hat Films, but they're one of the reasons I stayed. It was the Yogscast. I didn't even know Let's Playing was really a thing. I'd read the ones, like the old school ones about like Sims families, where it was just pictures and a story. Those ones I'd seen, but I wasn't really into YouTube. All I used it was for music lists. Like I don't really follow the YouTube scene. Like people talk about people, and I have no real idea who they are. I've never seen a Markiplier video, but apparently because I've got red hair, people call me Markiplier. I think I've seen one PewDiePie video and I got bored. I never even actually seen him do a Let's Play. Like people say all these names in like the Let's Play Discord, and I have no idea who they are. I feel like the Crocodile Dundee of Let's Plays, like in my shack in the sticks. It's like I have no idea what you big city types are doing. I'm just going to record this game here and put it on the old YouTubers, mate.
I have to stop you there for a second because I really have this really cool idea. Could you totally just pull out a Crocodile D impression out of your ass? Because I totally want to put that on the screen right now, saying something about Let's Plays.
Because I'm friends with Tash the Cat and Sol Milstrom, and I still need to do a series with Tash the Cat for a start. So the last thing I need is him annoyed with me. Maybe, and I'd like to work on it anyway. I'd have to like go back and watch the films again and like learn it.
No, it's like I'm just thinking to myself.
You've put the idea in my head now, so I might go away and learn it, and then just spring it on Tash when he's not expecting it during Swoto. You never know.
Oh, I'm gonna get hate mail from this.
Yep, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm good with it. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm fine. No, see, speaking of kind of voice things, I have this kind of thing where, oh, wow, my mic decided to jump out.
I have this thing where my mic falls over, and it makes voices very difficult.
Yes,
so how do you cope with mics falling over? Well, my mic doesn't fall over. It's attached to my head. I do have a mic that it's like a snowball or whatever, the Blue Yeti or whatever the fuck they're called, and I do have a mic stand for it now, but I haven't got around to setting it up and trying it out. I did try it out once, but I had to have it on a desk, and it was during the Saints Row playlists, and every time I typed, you could hear it like vibrating through the mic. It sucks when shit like that happens, but I just had to fucking deal with it. It was during Saints Row 2. Let's open up the Saints Row Saga playlist and we'll have a look. And I've just realised I've interviewed myself here, but carry on. What was it called? What was it called? It was before Over the Shoulder Action, I'm pretty sure. It was something like Payback? No, it was before that. Fuck it, I don't remember. You'll find out when you watch it.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go. But no, wow, I can't believe I totally lost what I was going about. No, voices, yes. See, there's this thing that I'm really trying to kind of push forward now, is when I'm playing games, stuff like that, I kind of, like, I've been kind of withholding it, because I'm not sure how people will react to it, but, guys, believe it or not, you've seen some of the clips maybe I put up, there's a video on VidMe I put out for my channel intro, which I had a bunch of clips, and there's a bunch of them with some voices that I do for no reason. I do these really bad accents, and I do a Mickey kind of thing, I don't know. I feel like I should probably bring those into my Let's Plays a little bit more because it does add hilarity to it. But I just don't want people to like go, "Oh, you're just trying to account to people." I'm like, no, I'm just trying to be funny.
I just do what I feel like doing. If it involves being Kermit the Frog, I suppose, then it might. Like, Kermit the Frog here. Why? I don't know. If I feel like doing it, then I'll do it. If I don't, then I don't. Fuck it. I do try doing voices, like the wizard in Stardew Valley. I do a voice for him. But if I tried doing that for everyone, I'd just get bored and it'd be shit. But I'm inept, so I think that's what everybody expects. Anyone that knows me certainly expects it. So, yeah, I think you just roll with it and see what the crack is, and, you know, I attempt it, and it's funny sometimes it isn't. Just see.
Well, the thing is, like, kind of throwing back to myself here. One of the original Outlast videos that I did, there was... I don't know if you played Outlast, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It's a spooky thing with you've got like a torch and a camera and there's like an asylum or something.
And the first one's an insane asylum. And basically you're a reporter and you're trying to find out the truth there, and you're basically going through an asylum and stuff.
I've seen Kim do a Let's Play of it, I think. Maybe it's with Hannah? I'm not sure. Of the Oxcast. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, there's one part where I'm running from this guy, and I was running away from him, and something clicked in my head, and I did not know I could do this impression. And I was running away from him, and I'm like, "Oh, you're not gonna get me today!" Oh.
I had that once with Woody Allen. I stumbled on a Woody Allen impression, and I did this amazing Woody Allen, and I forgot how I did it. I've never been able to do it since.
Yeah, the thing is, I just do that, and then, like, I was playing Watch Dogs, like, months and months ago, and it's a clip that I have on my my Facebook channel, and I put the clip out a couple times, but it's just, like, I got away from the cops, and I was really tired, and I can quote myself with this. It was like, "I am magic. I got away. Oh! Ain't gonna get me today, coppers. Oh! Hi, fucker! Ah!"
The thing with impressions, you have to work at them. Because it's fun when it works, but you have to like constantly do them. Like I think when you do like really basic ones, like all right, take your t-shirt off. Wow, take your t-shirt off, baby. You know, basic ones. You have to practice at them. Like for Halloween, I went as Jack Sparrow, and I spent like 2 weeks learning the Jack Sparrow, and I nailed it. But I can't do it now. Your brain has better things to do, so you have to actually work at it to do it properly.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is when I originally found out that I could start doing that, I would just randomly do it at random points, and I always try to get it better. Like, if I do it right on the spot, it's not as good as when I did it during that video. It amazes me because, especially when you're doing Let's Plays, stuff like that, and something generally surprises you, and you don't expect something, and then it pops out, and you're like, where'd that come from? Like you said, you had that thing and you're able to do it again. It's really interesting sometimes what games can make us do, right?
Yeah, I've got a very dodgy memory. The proper name for it is I don't have autobiographical memory. So it doesn't exactly work. I don't really remember things, and I'm not very good at imagining the future either. So just about everything for me is present and spontaneous. So I don't know if it makes it easier or whatnot, but that's just the way I live with it. If stuff pops up, great. If not, then it's forgotten. Water off a duck's back.
I've heard that saying before. Yes. Okay, we're gonna add. I just thought about this. I'm gonna add a new section to this interview. We're gonna call this the cringe. What video have you done previously that you would say would be the ultimate cringe for you when you did it? Like you look back at it now and you're like, oh god, why did I do that?
I'm not sure anything's been that bad. I mean, I do cringe at like all the earlier work because of how like the first GTA video I did was in the wrong aspect ratio to start. The ones after that, I lost game audio and had to cover, and I didn't do it very well. That's something I wouldn't have done nowadays. So just stuff like that. If you watch the early big day out videos, you'll see it, like gaps and stuff that I've tried to cover and I haven't done it quite right. Like poor music choices in the first one, and just stuff like that, like decisions I wouldn't make now. Nothing that makes me weep, otherwise I'd delete it by now.
So, okay. Well, that's the thing, is just, especially with the different styles of editing and stuff like that, you're like kind of tying into this, I think, like, going back and looking at some of my really early stuff when I started doing webcam, the things that are cringy for me is when I use my original laptop webcam and I use the Xbox One headset mic. Oh my god.
For me, the whole idea of doing facecam sounds cringy to me. I have no interest in doing facecam. I know some people that subscribe to me on Twitter, on the rare occasion that I post a picture of myself, will understand why. I know for a fact that you all are imagining me a lot more sexy than I actually am, and I am okay with that.
Yeah, it was like that. I think it was like a while ago. It was like the picture of you just like full beard and all that, and I'm just like, now
that it's gone, like I kind of miss it. I think I had a majestic look, like a lion, but a lion mixed with Rick from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. We gotta get drunk, Morty.
We got this deer, Morty. Gotta get the deer. The rest of the pack, Morty. Morty, get the gazelle.
I'm dying over here. Oh god.
You alright there?
No. Yeah, I'm fine. No, it just made me so laugh so much that I just started coughing.
Then my work here is done.
Yes, that is the main thing. That is the funniest thing. This is what I really love about doing these interviews, is that the things that pop up, even though they're not game related, I find that are perfect tie-ins, because Interview with a Gamer is not just about the games that we play, it's about the gamer that plays them. So if you have these funny quirks and these things that you want to bring into the video, I find it makes them shine. So for example, you just threw that random thing out there when I just kind of said I started doing a really bad Rick impression. You just pull out that. I'm just like laughing my ass off. That's the great
best
moment.
Not to think about it.
Yes, don't think about it. Yeah.
Things like this can't be forced. They can only be cultivated.
Yes, and that makes it really enjoyable, especially for the viewer, because you're just like, it's like, well, that wasn't planned at all, but that was funny. Let's keep it. Okay. So I think that we're going to go into kind of a different part of this interview. Tags for YouTube. Do you find that they are like something that you should really, really learn if you especially want to become professional on this platform?
Yeah, you really should. I mean, it depends how you want to think about it. There's a point where you can either be just a person that puts videos on YouTube, in which case you're grand, or you can be a YouTuber. Like the difference between going from someone that's really good at karaoke and someone that actually becomes a proper singer, you know? And once you do that, you have to do all the marketing and SEO and all that bullshit. It's a pain in the ass, but it's part of the whole thing. If you want people to actually turn up, which, you know, is half the point, then you're going to have to get in there. I mean, people are going to search for stuff to watch, and you have to make sure that they can actually find you.
Yes, and you can't always rely on them searching your name, because they don't know your name yet. So, yeah. And so, yeah, I find that, what kind of, I'm just trying to think of the best way to put this. When you're doing your tags, is there a certain, I think you showed me a list of tags that you use. Yeah.
For the series, I pretty much decide what tags are going to work for the whole of the series. And I put those ones down first. And then what I do after that is individual episodes will get one that I'll type in manually as I'm uploading it. Yeah, and anything that's very specific to the episode, I'll just add in afterwards and jobs are good. So Stardew Valley. First off, start off with Stardew Valley, the name of the farmer, and Drewtopia Farm and all that stuff. And then next after that, because I've been doing the co-op mod for a while, I've got another line that I copy and paste in about all the multiplayer stuff. Then because there was another mod I added after that, I've got another line for anything related to the cannabis mod. So yeah, and then after that, like the one with Tiddlywinks. I'll type in manually after that. Stardew Valley co-op with Tiddlywinks, Stardew Valley, Tiddlywinks, Tiddlywinks and UchihaDrew, all of that stuff. Anything that somebody might think about searching for. It's really hard to guess all of that stuff, like trying to put yourself into their head, but you just have to do the best you can. Like, think of the things that people are going to want to see in the video, and think, well, what are they going to put into YouTube to find it? And just work from there.
Okay, that's kind of the thing is, especially if you want people to find you, you have to be really careful on stuff like that. A lot of people have told me that, especially when you're doing that, is if you can put something in that you're talking about in the video while you're doing it, like even if it's like just an event that's happened or something like that, put that in there as well, because then you never know.
Yeah,
because that'll just
like for instance, during SWTOR, I learned a fact from Tash. And do you know the word pussy has nothing to do with a woman or anything? It's from the Latin pusillanimous, which I thought was interesting. But then I put like the meaning of pussy or whatever in the tag. So if anybody's looking for what the word pussy means, boom, we'll come in there because it actually has the answer to that question.
I wonder how many people actually click that for clickbait, going, "Oh, it's like
it's not in the title or anything." But it is in there, so I figure it's fair play. So,
no, but I just thought as you were saying that, I'm like, is there totally just somebody who's just going to type in pussy in there and just like is like, no, this is not what I'm looking for.
What's the Star Wars stuff? Yeah, but it actually has it in there, so I figured it was fair play, so I did it. You know, I don't know. I'm a very simple creature. I just do whatever I think is the sensible thing to do. So it was simple, elegant solution, I think. And if nobody can really fault me for it. So it does have it in there, so I'm going with it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. All right. So I kind of want to ask about this, since it's kind of been popping every time I go back to your main screen. Left 4 Dead 2, an advertisement for mods, the way it should have been. I really want to ask about that.
Yeah, it's just one of my better videos, so I thought I'll put that one front and center. Yeah, I do. It's me and 2 others with 1 bot on our side. And it's just such a laugh doing it. We had the Teletubbies on instead of zombies.
Oh, God.
And it just added a whole new thing to it. And it's the way it should have been. We say that out loud in the episode, which is why it's in quotations in the thumbnail. It's such a mad ride. If you watch one video, watch that one. I love going through that.
Okay, yeah, it's just because I just keep seeing it, I'm just like, I really want to ask that, because that just seems like fairly interesting, so I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see, I think we're getting pretty good to that. I want to ask you about, say you're a just up-and-coming YouTuber, you know, you just started, and what kind of advice would you give to a starting YouTuber, just starting right now, if they want to be a Let's Player?
If they specifically want to be a Let's Player and not just a dude that does videos on YouTube. Okay. Let's think. Do tutorials, figure out what kind of software you're going to need. Unless you've got a student thing from like uni and that, you might not be able to use Photoshop because like Premiere and that, because the prices are ridiculous. It's not just $99, it's like $99 a month. It's absurd. I can't officially like promote piracy, but if you have it and you paid the full price for it, I'm afraid you are an idiot. It's just, you'd have to be a big business to afford it. So there are other free ones. I think Avid is one. There's some free ones on Mac, but I don't know anything about Mac. I don't like Mac. I don't like that it's apparently the industry standard. I think Macs are shit. I've had proof of this. They tried to teach me to use Photoshop in college, and they were teaching me on Macs. Just could not get it, no matter what. And then I managed to get a copy of it, put it on my PC at home. Boom! It just blended together perfectly. I knew exactly what I was doing. Everything suddenly made sense. So, you know, screw Macs. Don't need to go one.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Macs myself. I've just been with my PC for so long. I'm just like, no, man, no. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
let's yeah, so basically for like a let's player like that, adding on to what he said, I find that the thing that you're going to kind of get out of this is that your first video is going to be crap. Believe me.
Yep.
Like, it depending on, it doesn't matter if you think it's the like prime of your existence, but it will be crap because until you do it the first time and see the reaction from it and see what you did wrong, you'll go back to it like years later and you'll be like, that was absolute shit. You will go back to it, because I go back to my old crap and I go, why did I do it this way? Why did I edit this certain way? Why did I have this? Yeah,
like some stuff I talked about the big day out, some stuff I did manage to cover pretty well, just not all of it enough to be worth it, sadly. You know, there are moments like that, but you know, you will get that perspective. Everybody says that kind of thing, so you can either trust us or just you'll remember it later. Whatever.
Yeah, and see, that's the kind of thing, especially with that, is you really can't say that you're going to start this out and boom, you're going to be famous. That's there's a really unlikely chance of it.
You have to put in the legwork. You cannot skip that step. I'm in what I'm calling phase 2 of the channel. Phase 1 is a bum putting things on YouTube. Phase 3 is when I'm making a living off it, like the YouTuber that most people will know, the Yogscast and all stuff like that. I'm in what I'm calling phase 2, which is the climb from 1 to 3. And you cannot bypass that step in any way. You have to put that legwork in. You have to do it. There's no choice around it, so you just get on with it. I'm in too deep to quit now. People are turning up every episode, and I'm doing it for them now. I couldn't stop if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's the thing that a lot of people kind of forget, is that they want thousands of views and they want thousands of likes and stuff like that. And the thing that I find that you really need to kind of get back to is get back to the basics. I'm the kind of person where if I have somebody, one person, let's just say one person, watch my video, it made their day better than having 1,000 views of people who didn't even bother to say something. They tell me that something that the video made them happy, or they really enjoyed it and they had a laugh. That's worth all the world to me, because then it's like, hey, I did something right today. I brightened someone's day. That makes it so worth it. Like, that's what it is. And so a lot of people get kind of up in about it. They're like, oh, I need thousands and stuff like that. And I understand that. If you're like really wanting to go for making the money, you gotta start small. You gotta kind of perfect your craft, as I would put it. And once you do that, I just owe the 6 to 12 consistent views that I have. It goes up, it goes down, but like that 6 to 12 is consistent, and it's them I owe as far as I'm concerned. I mean, one fan bought me Dishonored 2, so I at least owe that particular fan to finish the bloody series. So you know, I'm doing that. But that's all you need. That's what it's worth. That's all you need, because as long as you're doing all that, then you're doing your job. It's all worth it. Yeah, and the one ending point I'm going to say that I think that really needs to be said is have fun. Because if you're not having fun, people will call you out on that shit. It's like, man, you seemed really grumpy. You weren't really enjoying the gameplay or something like that. I find if you don't have the fun or don't enjoy yourself to the point, then you're not really doing it for that. You're just kind of like, people are like, they'll notice it. They'll let you know that you didn't seem like you're genuine, right? Exactly. You kind of hide it. You can't. Too many people watching, too many of them being smart. You'll never get away with it. So you may as well just be yourself, be honest, whatever that may be. And if your self isn't good enough, then try to be a better self. Because I've always found that advice weird. Just be yourself. Well, what if you're a complete dick? Don't be yourself. Be something better. You know. Well, see, that's the kind of thing that I like to kind of put out, especially when you're doing on YouTube, you will find that you'll notice little things about yourself that you do not like and that you try to improve on. And if you consistently see in videos, like, I always had the problem of not really talking like really talking to myself when I first started doing this stuff. I was kind of really quiet, and then after a while, I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna talk with this, make noises, whatever," and enjoy myself a lot more. It's interesting that way, and I like it. That's what you should do. Is just put yourself in there and try to put your best. I think what I should say is put your best qualities out there. Like, yeah, if you're a dick, well, yeah, you're a dick, but you're a dick who makes people laugh. So hey, whatever.
We'll settle for that for now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It'll do.
It'll do. Anyway, this has been another interview with the gamer. I'd like to thank UchihaDrew for sitting down with me and doing this interview. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Have a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Yep, not a problem. And I'm going to end my video off by saying this Canadian here is rooting for your bacon. See you later, guys.